Hello there, welcome to our show. Today I'm talking about Motorway, a film produced by Johnnie To. The director is, and watch for this terrible pronunciation, Chiang Su, and it stars Sean Yu and Anthony Wong, and it is just wonderful. Motorway really took me by surprise. I watched it, it was recommended by Asian film enthusiast Eric a while ago on his videos, and I managed to get it on iTunes. And so I finally watched it. And I watched it on a projector, so I saw it on a bigger screen. And it really helps this film because it's an intense film. It is very much, I feel the director did watch The French Connection and Michael Mann films for that kind of pared down, obsessive cop perspective or criminal perspective. That sense of people who are very good at their jobs and who are obsessed with their jobs, and real life's kind of difficult for them. There's just that pared down, intense feeling within the shots, within the acting, where little looks and little bits of body language tells you so much about what's actually going on. And it's just wonderful. I mean, it really delivers this intense experience over like 90 minutes. Now, so the lead character is called Chung, played by Sean Yu, and he's a traffic cop, basically. But this is in Hong Kong, so the traffic cops are very dedicated because they can do high-speed pursuits. And Anthony Wong's his partner who's burnt out and waiting for retirement. You know, that kind of character. Because Anthony Wong, he delivers a lot of subtle stuff that's well below the surface, that's much more interesting than the obvious cliches. Now, what's really good with this film is it may take stuff you may have seen before in other films, but it gives them a lot more depth, really. Because the lead character Chung, he's obsessive and he takes out the videos of high-speed chases and watches it like out of film said, watch it like a boxer trying to learn what he did wrong. There is that element. But also he's really smart and he just needs experience, really. He wants to be really good at his job, and it's that sense of he's kind of picking stuff up. And he's not dumb, he's just too enthusiastic. He does not have the distance he needs, which he learns through the film. But he's got just so much talent that everyone can see, but he goes too far. But it's obviously an intelligent person going too far rather than an idiot. He's not an idiot. He does stupid things at times, but that's because of youth, because of what he has to learn. So it's about a young man learning how to be good at his job and have the perspective to be helpful to everybody. That's what the film's about. But it's not hammered home. It's a chase film. Because I try to get these guys who... one guy gets arrested early on and he's a fake ID, so they know there's something up with him. And he was going to sell this information to these other gangsters. So they ask one of his old partners to come and break him out, went to Hong Kong and break him out. And this guy is a top-class driver. He's an ace driver. He can get out anything. He's almost supernatural how good he is. He understands what his cars are, what they can do. He knows the routes. He knows what the police are looking for and how to get around that. And it's basically, to get the other guy, the police have to get this guy, this driver. That's the main focus. And that's the obsession that comes through the film, is this focus of getting this other guy. So Anthony Wong's character has to learn to get back on the horse, really, to be of help to his partner, but also to discover his own passion for what he was doing, because trying to take down this guy before caused him a lot of problems, actually made him burn out. And because this was a long-term process of over years, and he still couldn't catch the guy. So now the guy's back, so he wants this guy caught, and the young guy wants us to take him down. He has to learn how to do certain things that he didn't have patience for before, but he has to learn them. He has to learn certain techniques. Like how to watch, instead of watching looking for high-speed chase, how to stop and say, okay, this guy's not going to do that because it's stupid. He's going to do low-speed chase. He's going to hide in the alleyways and find ways around that. And that's him learning how a real driver, a real getaway driver would actually work. And it's him figuring out how to be good at his job. It's not just about horsepower and how fast you can go and how well you can drive fast. It's about using your brain. But it's all done brilliantly because it's all about the intensity. It's all about the chase scenes are great because the director understands chase scenes needs variation, not just on where the location is, but it's also on what shots you use. The variation, the shot height from on the car can be higher in one bit, but still in the car and then lower another bit. And you vary it up so you vary up this sense of pacing within the shots just to create a sense of rawness and momentum. Even though it's a slightly produced film, is that sense of when you're watching the cars, it feels like an extension of the characters. It feels like this is their obsession. That's why I'm talking about Michael Mann and Friedkin, where there's a realism to it, but there's also a sense of this is beyond realism. This is like a psychological landscape, and that's what this film really does well. It really delivers that sense of the world as the characters see it through visual language, through how the cuts come in, how they move their bodies around the car. Things like that is actually really important because it's about how all those little details affect the car so you can do these things that most other people can't do. So that thing becomes really, really important. And it works really well in the film because it's so detailed and things repeat and are advanced upon. Because each time something happens, the characters learn from those mistakes that they make. And nobody makes a mistake and then doesn't take it into consideration next time they're dealing with somebody. And there are like 3 or 4 chases. There's a basic early chase which doesn't go very far, and then you have a gradual build up of other chases. So there's like 3 big chases for the film, and they're all wonderful. They're all really wonderful. And they're all really inventive because they know that we've done that already, so we have to do something else. But we also have to backtrack to what the characters have learned earlier so that you know that they've figured it out. And it is a bit this young guy trying to teach his master who really knows what he's doing, this getaway driver. And the getaway people, the criminals are really smart. It's not like they're idiots. Everyone's smart. There's no idiot in this film at all. They're all smart people. And the villains are greedy, but they're smart. They want certain things done. So it's just great. This is wonderful how they do it and how they learn from what's going on. And even like character scenes that could be cliched, they find little nuances so they're not cliched. Like Anthony Wong actually has instead of being a loner, he's a wife who loves him. That's very different from the usual loner cop cliche. Like the rogue cop tries to pick up a girl and he gets utterly shot down in the most brutal way possible. And that pays off as the film goes on because they do meet up later on, but they meet up when he's actually started to learn how to behave as a human being rather than just be this guy who's trying to prove himself all the time to everybody. So it becomes a more interesting dynamic. And that goes through the film, everyone's dynamic is different. Because early on there's a sequence where his boss reels him out, and then later on you start to see the boss is actually very human. Like, he deserved to be reamed out the first time. And it's like, the guy needed that. It was like the character you thought would turn out to be the villain turns out, no, he's not. He's just reasonable. He just is like, you're out of line. And then the character learns that as he goes. So it's a wonderful set of characters. They're not complicated, but they're placed in the world and the director knows exactly how to show them in that world. And you're interested in them, and all the movements are fascinating. And it is 90 minutes, but you're really in that world for 90 minutes. And you really feel the world. It feels like an intense experience when you're watching it. It's just like so well done. But it is a film you really want to see in a bigger screen as possible. Just because of the way the direction is, the way the cars move, the way just the way the world's expressed is very cinematic. Even though it's a very locked down, it's very much a Western idea, but with cars. And you can do stuff with cars that's probably very difficult to do, but it's not like Fast and Furious level stuff. This is more like simple things that an expert driver is doing. So they're probably pushing it a little bit, but it works for the film. And it's just so enjoyable. This film is so intense, been so wonderful. I can't recommend it enough. I've tried to avoid spoilers, and just go see it. It is wonderful. It's available on iTunes in the UK, and hopefully it's on iTunes in the world, because it's very hard to find, but you can find it on iTunes. It should be more widely available because it's such a good film. So, go see it. I'll be back soon with another video. Right, bye for now.